Hi everyone, my name is Karen and this is my channel KGFL Creations. Welcome to another episode of #FridaySews. Let's get right into what happened here in the sewing room. As you can see, I am wearing what happened here in the sewing room. This is the Byron top by Sinclair Patterns. The V-neck looks really good. I am going to go back a little bit. If it's not enough to get the whole thing, then I'll just lower the camera a little bit. Might be a bit too dark. Might just lower the camera a little bit. I did lower the camera just a little bit for you to see this direction, to see this pretty little top. So I don't have to go back as much and it's not as dark back there. So this is the front of the V-neck. This V-neck is in a pretty good location. It's not too high, it's not deep at all. It's in a great location for me. I am happy about this V. And it turned out really nice. Top, front, and the back. This here is a seersucker fabric. I'm gonna talk about that in just a little bit. This is a seersucker fabric. It's a nice little cotton, but I do like this top. Now that I just put it on again, after I made it, I put it on once and I'm like, oh, I don't know. It's a bit too loose for my taste, but I kind of like it now. It's a bit different. I raised the camera just a little bit, but it's not as high as I would like. But I didn't raise it that much because I want to show you something. Let's talk about this top. Want to show you here the V, front and back. You can see this. This is the first garment that I've made with a facing. Yes, with a facing. That the facing fit perfectly on the inside. First time. What I mean is, every time I've made facings before, but whenever you put the facing together, you stitch the facing at the shoulder, right? You stitch it. And then when you put it together, you're supposed to match with the shoulder of the outside. This one fit perfectly. Yes, perfect. I was stunned. I was like, wow, this is something. The only thing is that with something that you're not going to see, but I can see, is that my V here ends, it starts in the blue section here. And my top stitching, I did a top stitching all around the bottom of my V on the top stitching. Let me just raise it here for you to see. It's on the right side of the blue stripe instead of being in the middle. I noticed after I was done with it, because I did the top stitching from the inside because I had to catch the whole thing. So I did the top stitching from the inside, and only after that I looked at him like, oh, I can see that. But you can only see it if you're looking really, really close. You know about it because I told you so, but if I didn't tell you, you would not see that. But that's one of my little picking. As usual, I have to pick on something. But this pattern turned out great with this top here. There's no gaps. There's no gaping at all here. I did stay stitch this whole section here. I stay stitched the armhole, everything. The back. I did not do any adjustments on this pattern. Zero adjustments on this pattern because this is a toile. I wanted to see how it was going to be. That's why I didn't change anything, but I have to change a couple of things on the next one that I make. Well, one thing that I need to change on the next one is the bust dart. I made a size 16 with the CD cup. I thought about making the AB, but I thought the AB was going to be a bit too tight, so I decided to do the CD cup. But as you can see here, this dart comes way to the front here on both sides. They come all the way here. Yeah, if I can put it in camera, right? All the way here. And it is high. I need to lower it maybe by a half an inch, but I don't know if you can see. Let me just lower this a little bit. The bust dart is straight off like this. I would prefer a bust dart that would start here and it will point up just a little bit. Not one of the French ones that you start down here and you go up, but just maybe a half an inch or maybe a 3/4 of an inch lower and pointing that way, and make it a maybe 1 inch this way. So the bust point, the dart point is not too close to my apex. This thing is way to the front. It needs to be maybe around here, I would say. Yeah, it's about 1 inch this way. And then lower this a little bit and then point it up a little bit. So let me change the camera again. So that's the change that I need to make on this pattern. And I think that's about it. I do like the length. This is the shorter length. They have 2 lengths, and they also have, you can do the regular hem, which I did with my, what's that called? Band roll, but there's another name to it. I forgot the name of it. I used that to do my hem, quarter inch, and that was it. I was done. You can also put a wide facing at the bottom on the inside, but I didn't have fabric to do that. The only thing I did have fabric, and I still have a little bit more fabric left, was to do the bias binding, because there is a facing for the V in the back, and the armhole is with a bias bind. I did say I was going to talk a little bit more about this fabric. This fabric is 100% cotton. It is a seersucker. I got this from Joann's long time ago. I made a nice dress for my daughter out of this fabric. She was the one that chose this fabric. She liked the little red, white, and blue of it, and she chose this fabric. But it is okay. It's just that I am not crazy about the actual seersucker. All of this little, I would say puckering, is that what it is? I would iron this. I would just iron here at the top. I would iron the whole thing. And then 5 minutes later, the whole thing is already with the little, with the little bumps on this thing. Yeah, the more I iron this, it would just go right back into how it was before. I don't know. It is pretty. It is pretty. I will wear it. I don't know if I will wear it out or maybe just at home. I don't know. Maybe to sleep. Maybe because of the bust darts that I don't like how it turned out. It is a wearable toile. Am I crazy about the seersucker? No, I'm not. I don't think I'll ever buy seersucker again. I don't like the little bubble on this fabric. But I do like the color of the red, white, and blue. That's it. That's all I like about this fabric. Now I want to talk a little bit about the pattern itself. The 2 pieces of the facing, there is a couple of notches. There's a little notch here, right here, for the back, and the front also had a little notch. It matched perfectly. Can I say it again? It matched perfectly. Like I said, this facing here was a big thumbs up. It matched with the back and it matched with the front. The only thing that I want to note here is that it was a bit weird. When I traced the pattern, let me see which one it is. Oh, yes. The back piece has a notch right here on the side. It has a little notch right here. And it has, there's any other notch? No, there's no other notch other than, I think this is the waist marking right here, right there. But then I pulled the front pattern piece. Well, I made a little notch right here, but there's no notch here to the bottom. There is a mark right here, which I thought it was the waist. But if I put the two together, they don't match at all. You see right here, this is the back notch. And this is the front notch where I thought the waist was. But then if I look at the waist in the back, it does not fit the waist that I made a notch in the front. So none of this right here matched. The total length matched, at least. The total length matched of the side seam. But these notches, I have no idea why these markings were there or anything. I did read all of the instructions for this. Instructions were pretty good. I did not print the instructions because this was a simple top. I didn't want to waste the paper to print. So I just downloaded on my iPad and I read it there because there are different seam allowances. There's a 5/8 seam allowance around here. Here is a 1/4 inch seam allowance to add the bias binding in the armhole. And the sides here are finished with a French seam. So you start, it's a total of a 5/8 inch. You do a 1/4 inch. You cut very nicely. You take everything out, you fold, and you make your French seam for a total inseam of 5/8 inch. But it was a bit weird. I usually don't see that on the Sinclair Patterns where some of the notches don't match. So I don't know. I don't know what happened with that one. But I managed to finish this top and it turned out really, really good. So what are the plans for this weekend and for the week ahead? This little fabric here, I am going to decide if I'm going to make the Byron top, this top right here, but I'll have to lower, like I said, the bust dart a little bit and do something with it. Bring it in 1 inch and then do this one, or I will make my tried and true Rhapsody sleeveless top. So I don't know, I'll have to decide. I will ask my daughter and my husband what they think about this one, if they like it. I love this portion right here. So yeah, I don't know. Also, I have to see if I have enough fabric for this top, because this right here, this piece of fabric, I have one section and then one section like this. So I don't know if this section is enough to cut the two pieces, because the two pieces, the front and the back, are cut on the fold. So I don't know if I have enough for that. The Rhapsody, the front is one piece, but the back is a little bit shorter because there's the yoke. So I can play Tetris a little bit better with the Rhapsody compared to this one, which is a big piece for the front and a big piece for the back. So I don't know. I truly don't know what is going to happen with this guy right here. I am back with a different shirt. Decided to change. I had just ironed this and it was still hanging here because I ironed all of my clothing in here. I wanted to show you the inside of my new Byron top, something that I forgot to do in the beginning of the video. So before I finish this video, I want to show it to you. I added a little label that says made in 2026. This is one of the labels that I got from LA Finch. Yes, LA Finch. So I added this little label here, and let me show you the inside of this. The finishing is so nice. Everything is enclosed. This is the facing in the back, top stitched, very nice. This is the front facing with the V, top stitched. The armhole here with the bias binding, with the bias tape, bias binding, whatever it is that thing's called. And the French seam right here. French seam, ironed, and the bottom, the little hem I made with the fishbone hem tape. That's what it's called. With that, so this turned out really cute. And I really like this little label. made in 2026. This is very, very cute. Very, very cute. And I forgot to show the dart, which I pressed it down. And yeah, very nice on the inside. Everything is enclosed, so nothing will fray. The only time I use my serger, which I'm not sure if you're going to see this, is in the shoulder seam right here. I serged, but you cannot see much because the facing is right on top. There's a little serged edge right here. That's the only time I serged. That's it, right here. Could the instructions have you do French seams? Maybe, but it could be a bit bulky up here, so maybe that's why they tell you to serge the edge of the shoulder seam. But yeah, as you can see, the fabric, it has no difference in the good side or the bad side. So I just chose one side and I did the whole thing. Yeah, there's no difference of good front, the right side and the wrong side of this top. Well, that's it. I want to thank you all for sticking with me until the end of this video. If you liked it, can I ask you to please hit that like button below? And if you can also subscribe, it will mean a lot to me. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. I will see you on the next one. Bye.